Hi everyone, welcome again to another episode of Form Check Friday with me, Coach Marlon. So we're here again to critique 3 entries. Okay, let's start with a squat entry from Dingle that uses Instagram handle Big Daddy. Okay, so let me play the video. Okay, right off the bat, even before he racks off and walks out the weight, we can see meron ng fault yung form niya, which is yung elbow angle. Okay? I will expound on this later on during the lift. Okay? So, just take note everyone, Ram, that your elbow angle is too high. Okay? I'll expound on this later on. Okay, another critique that I will dish out to you is number 1, treat your walkout as your first rep in the squat. So that means you have to walk out with intent. At the same time, you have to be fully braced during the walkout. Okay? Otherwise, it will take more energy than required for you to walk out the weight. At the same time, if you expend more energy than it really requires to walk out the weight, you're taking away a rep or 2 during the set. That's my opinion about it. Pero, general rule, treat your walkout as your first rep. So number 1, walk out with intent. When I say intent, you have to be deliberate with your form. You have to count your steps, avoid unnecessary movement. At the same time, be fully braced the entire time that you're walking out the weight. Okay? Now, I'm gonna play the video again. Okay. Prior you initiating the descent, in the first part of the video, I said that your elbow angle is too high. Okay? At this part of the lift, dito na mas magiging evident yung performance effects nun. So, let me just show you. If you angle out your elbows this way, you're reinforcing this posture sa upper body mo. And when you squat, ayaw natin yan. Okay? Maapektuhan yung bar path mo going down. At the same time, this is not a strong position. What we want is to rotate your elbows downward, okay? To produce a stronger posture that will allow you to control the bar path going down. At the same time, it will also allow you to engage the right muscles, okay? Moving on. So again, let me just repeat. Keep your elbows down. At the same time, depress your shoulder blades. Okay, this will allow you to engage your lats and produce a favorable posture in your thorax. Okay? Next. Okay, it's pretty obvious at the bottom part of the lip or in the hole, your knees are caving in. Okay? Nagki-cave in silang ganyan. So, 2 reasons bakit nagki-cave in yan. It's either you have mobility issues from the hips going down or your glute strength is not sufficient to rotate your knees outward. Or, third pala, both. Meron ka na mobility issue, meron ka pang glute issue. So, you have to look into that if you want to be more efficient with the squat. So, next point na pupuntahan ko is a symptom of those things na previously na sinabi ko. So, nangyari is, nagki-cave in yung knees mo. So, nangyari is, pag nag-push off ka na going up, instead of pushing off from the midfoot, nagpo-push up ka sa medial side nung feet mo. Ibig sabihin yung pag-push mo, instead na equal na ganon, para mag-straighten out yung legs, instead of equal, pag ganon, yung push. Which is also not ideal. Okay? So, again, just like in previous episodes, I always emphasize na the most efficient squat is the one with the straight bar path if you're gonna take a look at that side. Okay? Ngayon, kapag nag-cave in yung knees mo, what happens is, nawawala tayo doon sa straight bar path. Saan napupunta? You're not being efficient going up. Okay? So, let's play the video one more time. Okay? Simulan natin again from the rack off elbow angle is too high already. Second point, walk out with intent, be more deliberate. If you can, count your steps, avoid unnecessary movement, and brace hard. Okay? Next point, as you descend, try to point your elbows down and depress your shoulder blades. Okay? This will allow you to execute a more favorable trunk position going down. Next point, look into your hip mobility, or can be an issue sa hip and any part of the lower extremity. Look into that since your knees are caving in. You can also look into your glute strength. That can be a factor. Or hip mobility and glute strength pareho. Last point, push off sa floor should come from the midfoot. Hindi inner part nung foot, hindi rin outer part. Gusto natin dito. So, nangyari, since it's either yun na yung problema, kaya nag-cave in yung knees, or nag-cave in yung knees, kaya nag-produce ng ganong problema. So, Ram, those are issues that you have to look into to improve your squat. Okay? So, now we're gonna proceed with the next video. Next video was submitted by Patty, who has an Instagram handle of Pattychu. Okay. It's a deadlift video. Okay, let me play the video first. Okay, so it's not a 1 rep max, it's actually a working set. Okay. Okay, so first and foremost, the first rep was pretty good. Okay, there was good bracing as evidenced by your belly patty expanding and maximizing the use of the belt. Second point, you have good wedging. So that means natanggal mo yung slack between the bar and the plate. Natanggal yung slack, so walang delay. Third point, your lats were in the pocket. So nasa loob yung lats. So what happened is favorable yung bar path. Okay, let me continue with the video. Nice form for the first few reps. Nice form and execution. Form and execution, by the way, are two different things. Okay, now, last rep. Yan. Okay. So, if there's one thing that I can critique about this particular set of a conventional deadlift is that the first few reps were quite good. Okay? Andun lahat ng hinahanap mo for an ideal rep. However, towards the last rep, nagkaroon na ng form breakdown. So what happened is, Patty, you rushed into the last rep. Parang ang naging mentality mo is, tapusin na lang natin. Total, kaya ko yung weight, nabuhat ko na for a few reps. Kumbaga, brasuhin ko na lang yung last rep. Okay? Nawala or nag-mix up yung cues mo during the last rep. So yung cue mo na you brace, you wedge the bar, and then you execute with the lift, nawala lahat yun. Pinagsabay-sabay mo na kasi gusto mo na matapos yung set. So if there's a lesson there, this is for everyone who lifts actually. Reminder to all is, if you feel fatigue or gassed out during a set, or during the last few reps of a set, it's nice to reset. Okay? For the last rep or two. Kasi you shouldn't rush into completing the set. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're doing the first rep or the last rep. What we want is consistency in terms of form and execution. And if you're fatigued or gassed out towards the end of the set, one way to address the problem of keeping the consistency from the first to the last is for you to rest. Okay? Or pause for a while or reset. Okay? Para hindi nawawala yung cues. Okay? So, let me play again. Again, you did a great job with the bracing, the wedging, and shooting your lats inside the pocket. Okay. One critique lang was that there was a form breakdown towards the end of the set. Okay? So, what I would suggest, if this happens again, if you have difficulty or you're finding it challenging to complete the set, you can take a pause. You can reset everything, your setup, You're bracing everything to complete the set. The point here is you have to consistent from the onset down to the last rep. Okay? Para ma-reinforce yung right lifting habits and of course ma-avoid natin yung injury kapag nagkakaroon na ng form breakdown. Okay. For our third entry, it's also a squat video from Angelo Miguel, who has an Instagram handle of Pakundo. Cool name, huh? Okay, let me play the video. Okay. So, from the first rep, first thing I noticed is, number one, Angelo, is that you have to brace hard even before you rack off and walk out the bar. Okay? Never let go of the air, not until you've been able to set your stance for the squat. Okay? Anytime that you release air from the rack off to the walk out prior to setting your final stance is you're increasing your risk of getting injured. Okay? Actually, if there's one portion of the lift that you have to be super tight, okay, by bracing properly, it's during the walkout. Okay? You are most prone during the walkout while you're walking, when the weight is unbalanced over your back and you're moving your feet. Next point. Okay. After playing the video which showed you doing 2 reps, I noticed that you did not retake air when you took your second rep. Okay? So Angelo, I would suggest to retake air every after rep. Okay? Not unless you're going for higher volume sets where you can afford to do 2 or 3 reps with 1 bracing. The weight is relatively lighter. Pero at this point, it's quite obvious that this is somewhere between RPE 8 to 8.5. So the intensity and weight is substantial. So I suggest you retake air every time you do a rep, after each rep. Okay? Okay, now let's finish off the video. Okay, so another point here, excuse me, the cadence and timing of the squat, especially out of the hole or the most difficult part of the lift, are pretty okay. But the push off from the feet is unbalanced. So notice that your feet keeps on moving around. So parang unstable yung footwear mo. It's either your footwear or your foot itself. Okay? Unstable siya. If you're gonna notice, keeps on moving. Okay? So hindi rin natin pwede tanggalin yung factor na yung flooring is soft. Too soft. Kaya your foot keeps on moving. Okay? Simple solution to this is to change your shoes. Okay? Look for a shoe with a more rigid sole. Okay? Next is, finally, in the last few seconds of the video, yon. Okay. So, yung last rep mo, instead of completing the rep and standing straight up, yung groove mo changed going up because you were in a hurry to rack the weight. You stood up not to complete the squat, you stood up to rack the weight. So, that is a no-no. Okay? Ayaw natin yon. Babalik ako sa bar path. Instead na naging straight yung bar path going up, ang nangyari going up, nagkaroon siya ng skew because you were in a hurry to rack the weight back. Okay, again. Let's play the entire video and point each critique. So, critique number 1, Angelo, number 1, brace hard before racking off and walking out the weight. Okay? Only let go of the air once your stance is set. Point number 2, retake air after each rep. Okay? Number 3, look into your footwear. Your feet were unstable because either your footwear was too soft, it wasn't designed for squatting. It's either too soft, the flooring is too soft, it wasn't designed for weight bearing, or both. Okay? So simple solution, try to look for and use shoes that have a more rigid sole. Okay? Lastly, complete your set by completing the movement. Okay? Don't rush into racking the weight back. Okay? Finish the squat, stand straight up, then rack the weight. Instead of squatting and racking the weight immediately after you rise from a squat. Okay? So that's it for Angelo Miguel, who has an Instagram handle of Pakundo. Okay? Thank you everyone for sending out your videos. Just keep sending those videos, and please be reminded to take those videos in a better angle. Make sure that your body isn't covered by the plates. We're gonna include tutorial on how to take the proper angle of those training videos. So always remember, the better video you have, the better critique I will be able to dish out. Finally, please don't be limited in sending out only squat, bench press, and deadlift videos. So I'm quite proficient in other exercises as well. So please tell your friends and your gym buddies to feel free to send out videos for me to critique. Thank you everyone, and see you all in the next episode.